Stunt double Lori Singer-Harper has performed hundreds of dangerous crashes, falls, and spills in her career. She has to have courage, strength, and self-confidence, things she had plenty of as a teenager growing up in North Carolina.
I found my joy in the gym, in gymnastics. It was so much fun learning new skills. I felt so much joy when I was in the air flipping. I felt confident.
That all changed when Lori was 15. She was at a party when a boy she knew asked her upstairs to talk. Instead, he trapped her in a room, put a pillow over her head, and raped her. No one could hear her scream.
And I remember laying there on that bed thinking, why? Why has this just happened to me? Why? Why me? These are the things that don't happen to people like me. But I hated myself for walking into a room not knowing what was gonna happen to me. I hated the fact that I was in a position that I was helpless.
Lori felt too ashamed to tell anyone.
I just remember being so sad about it, and so depressed about it that I didn't know what to do about it, but I didn't want to talk to people. I didn't want to talk to anybody about it.
With a growing sense of shame and self-hatred, Lori isolated herself from family and friends, falling deeper into depression.
Depression, to me, felt like, why wake up when you could just be dead? It felt like, why get out of this bed when you're happier when you're asleep? The joy comes out, and there was just no hope.
Then she started cutting herself.
I would look in the mirror, and I would take thumbtacks, and I would scratch on my cheek until it bled. And then I would stop. I couldn't really understand why I was doing it. I guess I hated myself so much that if I wasn't gonna die, I was gonna suffer.
A few months after the attack, Lori confided in her best friend, but that trust was quickly broken.
And next thing you know, people online started messaging me about the rape. And that put me to the very end of my rope. I couldn't believe that my best friend that I trusted would tell somebody.
On impulse, Lori downed a handful of pills she found at home, a decision she questioned right away.
After I took those pills, all of a sudden that boldness of I want to die became, do I want to die? And I went downstairs and I told my mom.
Lori's mom called the Poison Control Center and learned there wasn't any danger, but she knew Lori needed help, so she took her to a psychiatrist, who put her on medication for ADHD and depression.
As opposed to always depressed, I started becoming more even. But just because I went on medication didn't give me joy in my life again. It didn't. I was going along, living life, but I didn't feel good inside. I didn't feel great like I used to. I just still felt on autopilot.
One day at school, Lori met a college student who invited her to a Christian youth group gathering called Young Life. At once, Lori noticed there was something different about her.
I was like, this girl, I never seen a joy like that in somebody. I mean, this was more joyous than who I was before the rape. And so I was thinking, that girl has got something special. And whatever it is, I want it.
So Lori went to the meeting and discovered what her new friend had: faith in Jesus.
When I started to learn about who Jesus is, I started to receive joy in my heart again. No matter what it was that was dark that had happened in my life, He loved me anyway. I said, yes, Lord, come in my life. I'm ready. I'm at the darkest place I've ever been, and I accept you fully. Bring it on. After I accepted Jesus, it felt like the depression went away.
Instead of giving in to depression, she learned to depend on God for strength and joy.
God's presence gives me the confidence to know that He's gonna be there and He's gonna protect me.
And Lori says it was God who led her to a dream career as a stuntwoman, and also to her husband, Will Harper, who happens to be a stuntman. She's learned that when she seeks God through life's trials, she'll find joy.
Now I am hopeful for the future. I know that He has a plan and purpose for my life. Everything's changed.